에이펙스 트윈의 로고는 이제 하나의 컬트적 심볼이 되었습니다. 그의 음악을 모르는 사람조차도 이 로고는 알 정도죠. 폴 니콜슨, 그는 컴퓨터도 없던 시절 연필로 그린 수많은 선 속에서 단 하나의 완벽한 곡선을 찾아냈습니다. 정교한 파이 차트와 수학적 계산, 그리고 화이트로 수정을 거듭하며 이 전설적인 로고를 탄생시켰는데요. 우리가 몰랐던 이 로고의 진실과 작업 과정, 그리고 그의 작업 철학까지 93년도 오리지널 드로잉을 앞에 두고 레전드 디자이너가 직접 들려주는 에이펙스 트윈 로고의 진짜 연대기, 지금 만나보시죠.
Yeah, 1993. So this was Abstract Dance's a record label.
It's not like hand-drawn.
Hand drawn, yeah.
It is hand-drawn?
Yeah. Wow. So what you would do is you'd hand draw something quite big, then on a photocopy machine, reduce in scale so it cleans it up. Before computers were used a lot of artwork, and that would be the artwork. It would go to the printers like that.
So this is that legendary part.
That is the original drawing of what ended up on Selected Ambient Works Volume 2. That is the original. Because look, it's not even a photocopy, that is the hand-drawn one.
So I actually saw a Reddit post. The logo on the album of Aphex Twin is not actually what you make for the first time. Because like this part was a little bit changed.
So what it is the logo on the RNS record is a reproduction of a hand-drawn logo. Because I didn't have a computer when I did the logo. I take a scan of my drawing and then redraw it. And then I redrew the logo again, probably about 2015. So where you see the one with all the construction diagram, I slightly refined it. In Illustrator, you get a sharp line, and then you can drag it and get the corner rounded.
Yeah.
So what I was able to do is, in redrawing the logo, is just make those curves perfect. So there's technically 3 versions. So yeah, these are all versions of it. There you go, look. It's like, see the way here you got the pencil lines?
Yeah.
You can see where I was deciding, should it be just chopped off or should I keep the top part? So this is what you see on Selected Ambient Works Volume 2. You can see all the work, trying to do the pie charts and, oh there you go, look, all the mathematics. But you'll recognise the pie chart thing from Ambient Works too. You just had to work everything out in your head.
Yeah, sure.
And on paper first.
I can see how many logos are inspired from these works.
Actually, what's interesting, when you think about ways of working, when you see this, because this would be finished artwork, what you'd have to do is with white paint, it's just clean it up, because you would make mistakes or you'd have smudges.
Yeah.
So you would then get a very high reproduction of that. Wouldn't be like a photocopy, a Xerox. You'd get like a what was called PMT, photomechanical transfer. And so you'd work at, say, 25, 30 centimeters, but the finished product would be about that big. So by reducing it down in size, it makes it look cleaner and tighter. This was an archic adjustment, it was a skateware brand, would be the artwork that they get.
So these are final results.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can see this is like a version where I've cut out these sections to redraw it. So that baby was inspired by the end of the film 2001: A Space Odyssey. The baby.
The final.
Yeah, the final shot, yeah. There's a very simple rule that I adhere to, is as much as possible, if I'm working on something and then realise it looks like something I've seen, because we don't design in a vacuum. As you're working, you may kind of go down a kind of creative path and only then realise, oh, I know why it looks like it does, because I really love that logo I saw 20 years ago or something. And then you realise, nah, I can't do that. I remember one time I created like a little pictogram that was made to look like a little human. And I was doing it and I was thinking, oh my God, this is genius. Yeah. And then I was looking at it going, Designers Republic have done it. So I just scrap it. Because there's little point putting something out there that's too similar. So it's a bit like, well, bin that, start again. You can never create something that's 100% unique. It doesn't exist. Because we live and breathe in a world and our brains are like sponges. We're constantly taking in material. But it's about how you move something forward or present it in a way that's different or combine things that haven't been done before. When you start creative process, I don't worry about it. I don't sit at home going, oh God, am I good enough? Am I going to be able to do it? So I have a self-belief and confidence in what I do that knows I can do it. I always like to get to understand who I'm working for. So through Zoom calls and them having put together a mood board, understanding of who you're working with, and then sitting down and going through a kind of brainstorming session, process of bouncing ideas back and forth. So there'll be a first submission of designs, which are usually quite disparate, where I present a number of different themes and styles. They'll come back with the things that they feel they like and work for them, and then you're just refining it. But that's kind of, I think, normal in design, especially client-based design, is that you are narrowing down the options and fine-tuning it. And the length of the time that a project takes is really just down to good fortune. Sometimes you get it right quite quickly, sometimes you just have to keep working on it till it works. And the thing as well is when the worst clients to work with are those that don't really know what they want, but they know what they don't want. So every time you submit something, they'll say, oh, I don't like that. And you're going, well, what do you like? I don't know. How are you supposed to move forward? And sometimes you can be bouncing ideas around just indefinitely and not ever really getting any closer to a conclusion.
How do you deal with that situation?
Curl up in a ball and cry. I think someone doesn't know the answer. You have to find the right question. As a designer, that's your job because you've been employed to create an identity for someone. So if they have problems, it's not their fault. They're not necessarily knowledgeable in design.
It's a designer's responsibility asking good questions and find a good way to make them live.
Yeah, as a designer, you're a commercial artist. So it's a very different relationship between what you do as an artist and what you produce. It's much more one of a collaborative interaction.